Hey guys, I'm Melanie and you're watching akaMommy, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the diet that I've been following for the past, I believe it's about 10 days now, and just kind of my thoughts on it and kind of what I hope to get out of it. So if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, and if you are brand new to my channel, then thank you for opening this video. I hope that you will enjoy the content here and that you will take the time to subscribe before you go. Okay guys, so let me just go ahead and tell you the diet that I have been following is called the Fast Metabolism Diet. The book is written by Haley Pomeroy, and let me tell you kind of why I felt like I needed to do this. If you've been following me on my channel for a while, you'll know that I am someone who very much values and enjoys fitness and nutrition and just learning about better health. However, I really got to a point where I felt like my own journey, my own weight loss journey and my own fitness journey had reached a plateau. And I don't really mean plateau, it's hard to explain. I felt more like I had hit a wall. And it seemed like no matter how I tried to change my diet, change my eating, eat the right foods, avoid other foods, increase my training, decrease my training, change up my training, nothing seemed to be working. I couldn't seem to get the scale to move at all, and I really didn't feel very good. I didn't feel energized. I didn't feel healthy. I just didn't feel good. And that was really starting to become very frustrating for me. And so I was talking to a friend from church about this, and she recommended the Fast Metabolism Diet to me. And basically the premise behind the diet is that you are going to be taking 28 days to reset your metabolism and heal your body from within, rebalance your hormones, and you're going to do it all with food. So this is not something that requires a lot of extreme exercise. In fact, it's pretty moderate exercise on this diet. You can obviously do more, but it's not necessary. It's not something that's, an absolute must. So let me tell you just really quickly, the claims from this diet are that you can lose up to 20 pounds in 28 days. Now that seems pretty radical and a little bit like you want to go, this cannot possibly be true. What's the catch? What's the catch? What are you not telling me? What are you going to deprive me of in order am I starving myself to lose 20 pounds in 28 days? I definitely felt all of those things, but I went ahead and read the book, meaning I listened to it through audio. I do have a copy of the book coming to me now because I find that even within the diet, I have times when I want to reference the book and I have no idea how to go back and listen to this 5-hour book and just find the parts that I want. Anyway, going off on a tangent. So this is how the diet works. First of all, you get to eat a ton of food, like so much food that I sometimes have a hard time taking in that much food. You get to eat all natural whole foods, and so that has been really nice. And the way the diet works is that it breaks up what you're eating, and it kind of tells you how your food should be ordered. So it's broken up into 3 phases. In phase 1, you're going to be eating carbs and fruit, and that's pretty much it. Well, I say that. You eat protein and you eat vegetables, but much lower amounts. You're really going to be utilizing your carbs, your whole grains, pasta, rice, bread, all of those things you can have in phase 1 of this diet, which is the first 2 days of each week. During this next 2 days of the week, which is phase 2, you're going to be focusing on protein and vegetables. So those are the 2 days when you would be eating things like the chicken or the tuna and the vegetables and the salads and the spinach and all of that stuff. You're going to be focusing on eating a lot of green vegetables, a lot of alkalinizing, I can never say that word, foods that are alkalinizing, however you say that word. These foods are specifically in days 3 and 4 of this diet. And then days 5, 6, and 7, which for me fall on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you get to have everything. Now, when I say everything, I mean you get to have fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and healthy fat. You get to have it all. So on Monday and Tuesday, I'm really focusing on healthy grains and fruit, of course with some protein and vegetables mixed in, but lower amounts. On Wednesday and Thursday, I'm really only eating protein and vegetables, meat and vegetables, and nothing else. No fruit and no carbs, no grains of any kind. Now, vegetables do have carbs in them, but they're super, super low. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I get to have my grains. I get to have healthy fat, lots of healthy fat. Phase 3 is where you're really going to focus on the healthy fat, and you get to have a ton of it. It's so wonderful. It's amazing, especially after going through phase 2 where all you've had is protein and vegetables. Yes, it is amazing to wake up on Friday morning and realize that you get to have fat. So there is a whole science that goes into this, that is behind this diet, and she explains all of that in her book. I'm not going to go into all of that, but I promise you it's worth reading. So I think that I've hit on kind of the high points on each phase. Let me just kind of tell you how I am working through each phase, and then I'll tell you my results so far. So what I didn't tell you is what you're not allowed to have. And a lot of people would go, oh, well, here we go. Yeah, you're going to tell me everything I can't have. Well, in every diet, you're going to have to cut something out. So in this diet, you cannot have caffeine, you cannot have sugar, you cannot have wheat products, no corn, no soy, and what else? That's probably close to it. Those are I think the 5 main things that you cannot have. So as you right off the bat, you see I said no caffeine, which means no coffee. And I will be very honest with you and tell you that that is what I thought was going to do me in when it came to this diet. I wasn't looking forward to that, and it has not been the easiest thing. At this point, I find that I no longer have caffeine withdrawals. I went through that within the first 2 to 3 days of the diet with the headaches and just kind of that detox from my body. But I still crave coffee because it's something that I enjoy. Not because my body needs it to stay awake or to function or to have energy, but just because it's something that I really enjoy having more as a comfort. So I really don't see me cutting out coffee permanently from my life, but I am willing to give it up for the 28 days in order to heal my body. So you also cannot have any sugar. The only sugar that you're going to have is going to come from the fruit that you have in phase 1 and phase 3, but your body needs to get rid of all of that extra sugar. You also get to have, or you cannot have any wheat, so you're not going to have any wheat products. You're going to have gluten-free products and so forth. I might be wrong about that particular part. If I am, I'll leave a note here on the screen for you guys. You might be able to have wheat. I'm not 100% sure. I know there's absolutely no corn. And just an interesting little fact from the book that I wanted to share with you guys. Haley discusses, she previously has a background in animal science, and she talks about the fact that when ranchers and people who grow livestock, do you grow livestock? I don't really know. When you raise livestock. Oh, I sound so smart. When you raise livestock, what you do in order to fatten them up before you're going to sell them or send them where they need to go is you feed them lots of corn. Corn is that fattening. That corn is what they feed animals to fatten them up. Why are we doing this to ourselves? I don't understand. Anyway, so absolutely no corn and no soy. And so, yeah. I will tell you a little bit about my experience going through phase 1. I don't really seem to struggle with at all. Phase 1, I get to have my oatmeal and my quinoa and my fruits, and I'm still eating protein, and it is just delicious. In this phase, you don't get any fats, which means no oils, no cooking oils, no healthy fats of any kind. And so it takes a little bit of time to figure out how to cook on this particular diet, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not that difficult. So phase 1, I don't find to be super complicated. It's not difficult for me. I actually still feel pretty happy and have a decent amount of energy during phase 1. Phase 2, when I only have protein and vegetables, I find that my energy level does decrease quite a bit. And I believe that that is because protein is really, really hard for our bodies to digest without the help of, you know, fats mixed in as well. And so my body is working really hard to process the food and to digest the food that I'm putting in it. And so it does take a lot of my energy. But it's only for 2 days. That definitely is the hardest phase for me. But again, it's only for 2 days. So my favorite phase, obviously, is going to be phase 3. And that is luckily the phase that gets 3 whole days. Yes! It's not just one day that you get to have like a cheat day. You get to have 3 straight days that feel like cheat days because you're eating almond butter and avocado and coconut oil and hummus and oh, it's just so amazing. Oh, I forgot, you can't have any dairy. That was another one that you can't have. No dairy, which was kind of hard for me, but I'm managing, not a big deal. You guys know I love my cheese, but I'm managing. But when you get to have things like hummus and avocado and almond butter and coconut oil and just all of these wonderfully delicious, healthy fats, you really don't miss all of the other stuff all that much. And like I said, 3 whole days of this. It's amazing. So that's kind of my take on each one of the phases. So I will go ahead and let you know that within the first 7 days of this diet, I lost 7 pounds. Now, there are some people who are going to think, wow, that's insane. And then some people are going to think, oh, that's nothing. You should have lost way more. Everybody is, literally everybody is different, and everyone is going to lose weight at a different rate. I am still figuring out this diet. I personally am extremely happy with 7 pounds weight loss, especially when for probably 6, 8, 10 months before, I tried to lose weight and the scale would not budge. You guys, it would not move at all. So I have lost 7 pounds in a week, whereas I couldn't lose 7 pounds in 7 months previously. So I'm perfectly happy with 7 pounds. If I lose a pound a day, I will lose 28 pounds on this diet. Now, I don't really expect that that will be the case for me, but if it did, I'm not going to complain. The friend that I had that told me about this diet actually lost 29 pounds in her first round of this diet in 28 days, and her husband did it at the exact same time as her and lost 35 pounds. He lost 35 pounds in 28 days, eating so much food that sometimes you feel like you can't even eat it all. The difference is that it's all healthy whole foods. Now, like I said, there's a reason why the foods are all broken up into different categories, and I'm not going to go through that, but there is a scientific reason that you eat the foods that you do in the certain orders that you eat them, and it all has to do with healing your body. So on each day, you're going to eat 3 meals and 2 snacks. And I'm telling you guys, I'm not kidding. Sometimes I have a hard time eating that much food. There are some days that I think I didn't eat enough food today. And on this diet, Haley Pomeroy, she really encourages you to eat, 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 eat. You should not ever feel like you are hungry on this diet. You just have to make sure you're eating phase appropriate foods. So overall, I have been really, really, really happy with this diet. I no longer feel like I am caffeine dependent just to get through my days. I feel more rested when I wake up in the morning. I don't have to have toothpicks to keep my eyes open. I literally wake up and I feel awake and ready to go. The afternoon slump still does hit me a little bit. I don't know for sure if it always will, but at this point it still does. And that is the time when I tend to really want that cup of coffee. I will say I haven't had a whole lot of cravings for things this week. The first week I struggled with some cravings because we were just coming off of Valentine's Day and or shortly after Valentine's Day, and there was a lot of candy sitting in my house, and every time I would walk past it, my mouth would salivate because it's just seeing it would trigger that response. And so I hid it. I didn't throw it away because it's my kids' candy, but I just hid it. And now I don't have to see it, and I don't have that happen. It's not in my line of sight all the time. So it's not really so much of an issue. What else can I tell you guys? Overall, I'm loving this diet. Now, some of you might think that this sounds a whole lot like the Whole30. And to be honest with you, it's very very, very similar. The only difference that I have been able to come across in this diet and the Whole30 is that on this diet, you're eating specific foods on specific days. But overall, you're still eating whole foods, no sugar, no caffeine, no dairy, no soy, all those things that you're not allowed to have on the Whole30, you can't have on this diet either. The only difference is with this diet, specific foods for specific days. So you guys know I lasted a whole 4 days on the Whole30. When I complete the fast metabolism diet, I totally will feel like I did a Whole30, if I just do a couple of extra days, because that's pretty much what I'm doing. I've had nothing but whole, real foods now for 10 days. So I feel like that is totally a success. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that some of you will probably pick up on this if you are a little bit informed about this, is that this is also something that you could consider to be carb cycling. That's pretty much what we're doing here. We are carb cycling because 2 days we have high carbs, then the next 2 days we have like extremely, extremely low carbs. And then on the third day, we're kind of at a moderate carb. So carb cycling is what we're doing. And I'm not going to go into a whole lot about carb cycling, but it is a very effective way to burn fat. So that's a whole lot. This video hopefully is not going to be crazy long, but I had a lot of information to share with you guys. I am planning on filming an update video. I'll either do one every week or maybe every 2 weeks, just to share with you guys my progress and kind of how I'm feeling, if that is something that you would be interested in. Down below this video, I will have a link for you if you want to check out the fast metabolism diet. I'll have Haley's website. I'll also have a link where you can purchase the book from Amazon if that's something that you want to do. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid to share any of these thoughts with you, nor was I sent this book for free. I paid for this with my own money, but because it has been such a life-changing thing for me, I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed it and that you will benefit from this in some way. So that's going to be it, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you are a brand new subscriber, thank you so much. I hope that you will find lots of content here that you find entertaining, educational, motivational, inspirational. I like to put up videos that are mommy lifestyle related, and that could really pertain to anything mommy. So that's going to be it. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I will be back with another video for you very soon. If you missed my last video, you can check that out right over here. It'll pop up on the screen for you. And if you are not already subscribed, you can do that right over here. You guys take care, and until next time, be well. Bye-bye.